Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Rahim Lakhani, signing in from beautiful Lisboa today. Sunny day actually today. In the kicking it off. Today is the March the 1st. Just absolutely fantastic weather in Lisboa. Sorry, my fellow Canadians, you'll have to come and see it to believe it. So thank you so much, guys. Senor Carlos, Davi, and I've got my good friend Ricardo joining in a moment as well. Today we are excited about this whole rigmarole about Golden Visa, things shutting down, what's going to happen. The last few weeks since the announcement, I have not slept, to say the least. It has been absolutely crazy. Thanks to Davi, thanks to Carlos for sending in all their clients over to the beautiful project of Palacio. So we really, really appreciate that. And but yeah, so quick introductions. My name is, like I said, Rahim. We are a real estate developer here in Lisboa. We are located in Benfica, and we've got several projects that are eligible for Golden Visa. And yeah, all here, we're still seeing lots of people joining in, watching us online. So send your questions over, ask your questions. So what's happening? We'll get deep diving into what's happening on the ground. So don't worry. And yeah, let me pass it on to Carlos for a quick introduction, and then we'll continue on from that. Carlos, my man.
Okay, thank you, Raim, and welcome everyone. And yes, it is sunny. We are in March 1, and it's sunny Lisbon. What a great country to live in. So my name is Carlos. I'm Portuguese, 42 years old, and I've been working in real estate, mostly in Lisbon and Cascais area, for the past 6 years. For the past 3.5 years, I've joined Coldwell Banker, Coldwell Banker City in Lisbon. Coldwell Banker is a worldwide brand. We was established in 1906, so more than a century selling houses. So we know a little bit about the market. And it is my great pleasure to be in this webinar. Thank you to my friend Raim. We have known each other for a while. And yes, we are on the same page, Raim and his family and his company. They have done a good bet, let's call it like that, joining to Portugal. They love the country and they know what we have to offer. So thank you for that, for believing in us, and you have the proof that you are having a lot of success. That Portugal has a lot to offer and still has a lot to offer in the Golden Visa program and in other opportunities as well. So thank you for that, and I hope I can attend and reply to all your questions and queries that you may have.
Perfect. Thank you, Carlos, for that excellent introduction. Very important to know, the history of the company that you work with, and also, which angle you come in from, and what's out here, and why are we here, and why are we so proud to be in the Portuguese real estate market. So, and now I have my good friend here, Davi Rodriguez, as well. So please, Davi, jump right in, please.
Hi. So really, I'm glad that I'm here talking to you, and I know that it's not easy now, right? As the government is like doing not that good for us, but the market is here, and we know that we can make it happen together, right? My name is David Rodriguez, and I work for a company that I'm not supposed to talking about for ethical reasons, but it's an international real estate company that works here in Portugal and United States and other countries as well. I have been here in this company for 6 months at the moment. I am Brazilian, and I did work a lot with business, and I know that commercial properties have a lot of potential, and I do hope that they don't change it.
That's a good hope, my friend. We all hope the same, I think. We don't have Ricardo here, but he's one of the lawyers from Caiado, I believe, and for some reason he was having some difficulties. But no worries, we'll jump into some questions. But before I jump in, I would actually love to show a clipping of our beautiful Lisboa. So let's take a second for that, and we'll get to you in just 1 minute.
Why do so many investors fall in love with Lisboa? Easy. There's no other city that combines this beautiful view with the beauty of these numbers. Lisboa is the closest European capital to the United States, South America and Africa, with 250 departures every day, and being the only capital in mainland Europe sharing the same time zone with the British capital, with more than 300 days of sunshine throughout the year. Lisboa is surrounded by more than 20 wonderful golf courses, only 4 train stations away from the beach, and just 1 hour drive from Nazaré, home of the biggest waves on the planet. Selected to be the 2020 European Green Capital, Lisboa transforms ecological concerns into reality, being the first European city to have a municipal fleet where 100% of light vehicles are electric, a huge recharging network with more than 540 stations, and 100% of the city lights running with LED technology. Innovation and adaptation are part of the mindset, with 90 colleges that produce 30,000 graduates a year, with 60% of them in business, tech or math degrees. No wonder Lisboa attracts global investment from all around the globe into our entrepreneurial community, an ecosystem dedicated to helping new businesses where 2 new startups are created every day. With more than 100 co-working spaces spread all over Lisboa, and with a 90-kilometer bike lane that reaches all corners of the city. It's so easy to enjoy the view commuting to work using one of the 2,150 shared bikes and 5,500 soft mobility vehicles. How about this? Lisboa is well known as a city that embraces diversity and welcomes all kinds of races, ethnicities and religious beliefs. All that in a city with 7 Michelin-starred restaurants, and this sunset included. So, how about investing in Lisboa? Lisboa, the beautiful side of business.
Perfect. Gotta love that video, eh? It always refreshes me on every front every day when I or every week when we see this video. It kind of makes me feel very super proud on what we have there. Now, let's jump right in, guys. So we have some questions already, and before the webinar, also we received some questions. Let's gear these questions more because you guys are experts in the real estate business, in the market. You're talking to clients on a daily basis. So let's the first question we have, very first question we have. We all know the Prime Minister made an announcement a couple of weeks ago. Golden Visa is coming to an end. There is a public consultation that is ongoing until the 10th of March. We will share the link to the public consultation with everyone. So feel free to log in there and provide your comments. Now, big question. Let's start with Carlos. Carlos, why do you think actually there will be an effect on the real estate market post Golden Visa closure? And what are your thoughts on that?
Well, thank you, Raim. There will be an effect, of course. It's a political change. On my point of view, it won't be a positive effect, and I tell you why. I work on the regular market, residential market, as well as with investors, as you know, and this measure of closing the Golden Visa program, for me, doesn't fit the need that we have in Portugal, in Lisbon, and in other big cities. What we need is more houses. So we have a lot of demand, but we don't have enough houses. And because the government implemented this measure, thinking that, okay, with this, we're going to lower the price and give the real estate market a lower medium price for the house, for habitation, for people that want to live in the city. And I agree with that. But in my point of view, this measure won't make that happen because it won't improve the offer that we have in houses. And the law, economical law, says that when you have a lot of demand, but you don't have enough houses for that demand, the prices won't lower. So in my point of view, yes, it will have an impact. and an impact probably in investors to bring investment for Portugal, not only in Lisbon area, but also on the countryside, on the interior of Portugal, which has been very dynamic in the past 2 years, because they have invested a lot in Portugal, creating new jobs, creating new opportunities, bringing money to the economy of those small towns. And in my point of view, this measure will, of course, cause an effect on those investors. They will be more cautious in those investments. So it's a negative impact on my point of view. And if you look at the numbers, we have no more than 12,000 Golden Visa issued since the beginning of the program. And of course, the impact that has on the global market, the real estate market in Portugal, we're talking about millions of houses being sold. So I do not believe that the Golden Visa program and its hand, I do not believe it will have a positive impact on the price of the houses, which was the reason the government said for closing this program.
Absolutely, that's a great thought process there. As you are seeing a lot of investors, not only for Golden Visa, so it is irrelevant to remove Golden Visa or not to remove Golden Visa, just because of the fact that they think that removing Golden Visa will make a huge change and drop in pricing. Well, on the other hand, inflation is rising, so I don't even know if that may. Davi, what are your thoughts on the same subject? What do you think? Will Golden Visa removal affect the pricing of the Portuguese real estate market?
Now, if you look to the residential market, that doesn't make any sense to take away the golden visas. I do believe that the prices got higher because the Portuguese people were a bit greedy about the prices that they could have on the investments that come from outside of the country. And that's mostly because like if you know that people from outside can earn more than you and have more money than you raise your price, because you know that they will pay for it. The golden visas removal will not affect at all the prices. And I believe, at least is my personal opinion, that they will maintain the commercial properties as is a different kind of investments, and that helps the country as well. I do know that investments that you do for funds as well is completely to the progress of the country. And if they take that away, you're losing opportunities to make the country better.
Absolutely. There are multiple viewpoints on this. One thing we agree on, I think, between the three of us, at least here, is that prices are not going to be lowered with just one measure, and there has to be a multitude of different angles that the government has to take to make this kind of investment. Now. Another viewpoint that I believe we should also discuss, and it's a great platform because it is attached to the same Mais Habitação proposal that was out. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was the second or the third point that licensing for residential will come into place, and commercial properties can be turned into residential properties without any let's say formal approval of the city hall. At least that's what I understood. Carlos, what are your thoughts about this, positives and negatives? Tell us what you think and how you think this can affect the market.
Okay, so not only thank you, Raim, not only turning commercial properties into residential properties, they have made, or they want to make other changes, like if you have a vacant property, you have to rent it out. One thing is the government itself has thousands of vacant properties.
Yes.
I think we should start, because I don't want to attack the government. We are all the same, we should talk about it and we should get to compromise. And we all together should, okay, if you the government also has thousands of properties vacant, just laying there. So that problem can start giving the example. Okay, let's use our own properties and start doing, not just oblige for a property owner. Now you have to rent it out. Regarding your question, well, yes, that's a measure that will have an impact, I think, because right now, if you want to change, you have to go through a process. You have to talk to the condominium of the building. If you have like a restaurant and you want to change it into a loft, they have to agree. You have to go to a licensing process. It takes a little time. It's true, it can bring more offer to the market on residential. That's a fact, because if you have residential, if you have commercial properties, you can turn in a few weeks into residential. It will have an impact. The other impact is who is going to do all the valuations and fiscalization of that changing. That is also important, because if you have a commercial property in a building, that was made for that effect. So it has to be safe. It has to be, of course, aligning with the building. And who is going to check that out? That's not clear yet. Okay, so that's one thing. And if we start just changing mini supermarkets or mini stores to habitation just like that, that can be dangerous on that side. Okay. On the other hand, I can see the government's point of view in, okay, let's try to ease the process of legalization. And also another measure that they have made is in submitting projects, as you know, Raim, it's not an easy way. You go through a big process in Portugal. And for me, that's the measure that can have the most impact in creating new houses for people. Because I put myself in the shoes of an investor. You come, you buy a land plot, and you want to build a building. From buying, getting the licensing, start construction, selling, creating houses, it takes 2, 3, 4 years, sometimes more, sometimes less, as you know, but it's a process to get
always more.
Yeah, to get the project approved at this point, it's not easy. Depends on the municipality, of course, and with whom you are working, if he knows the market and if he knows how to submit it and to, try to ease the process. That's important too, to work with someone, a consultant or a friend or whatever, someone that knows the entire process that can help you if you are coming to Lisbon or to Portugal for the first time. But that is a measure that I think it will can have a great impact. Why? Because it will attract investors, not only foreign investors, also Portuguese investors. We have a lot of Portuguese developers. And if they can, because they do the business plan now at 3 or 4 years, if they can make it for 1 or 2 years, the decision to invest or not will be much more easier. Okay, so that's a measure I agree with the government to make the licensing process of the projects, new construction, rehabilitation, whatever, more faster and easier. That I agree with it. So I think that is a measure that can cause a positive impact in bringing more houses available for the market.
Absolutely. I see the point of view that they want to add more supply to the existing fleet of housing that we have. I think it is a much needed reason why they want to do this kind of conversion. But I don't agree, with this whole turn commercial to residential policy. It's a disaster in the making. It really is, because they're not meant to be housing. At the end of the day, that property is meant to be commercial. And once you start doing that and you set a precedent with commercial being residential, you will have a ton of requests from everywhere and challenges and court cases and whatnot. I think it's a Pandora's box I don't believe should be opened. But then again, I think it's a step, maybe it's like a very select number of projects that are eligible for this kind of conversion. And with good supervision, they should do it. But going into on the street corner and saying, "Oh, this cafe will be a great 3-bedroom apartment,"
Sure.
I think it's going to be a challenge. So I think you hit the nail right on the head. Safety point of view. I think a
Yeah.
safety point of view, it's very, very tricky to have that. Okay, Davi, what are your thoughts? Commercial turning to residential, mixed with the simplified licensing process. What do you think?
Okay, so simplify the process of the license. Yes, it's a good thing because that some people want that to do. Wants the commercial property to be a residential property. I'm okay with that. But if you see the rents, for example, we know that the residential rents are more lucrative, more profitable for those than the commercial properties, right? So if you take a look into the commercial properties and you analyze it, every single property that's commercial will be residential because it's more profitable. And that's a problem. That's a problem because if you have a commercial property that's supposed to be commercial,
Yeah,
you must have a mini market. You must have, you know, um,
yeah.
an office for like consultations, like you
Mhm.
must have that kind of properties. You cannot turn everything to residential, and that will happen. That's
Yeah,
like almost 100% for sure because it's more profitable. Is a good, like I do agree that we lack on the residential properties, but that's not the way that do it. They have a lot of buildings that needs to have rehabilitation.
yeah,
And if you see, for example, Arroyos in the middle of Lisbon, there has like properties that are like falling to the ground because they
yeah.
don't have
Absolutely.
like being renovated for a long time, and the owners are not even here. As I said, it's vacant, like doesn't have anyone to be doing the renovation. And I do believe that if they want to increase the residential properties here, they can have, example, a golden visa just for those that want to renovate their kind of
Mhm.
properties.
Yeah,
That will increase with residential, and that will make easier for those that wants to move here to help the Portuguese people as well.
yeah.
You know.
All right. So I think it remains to be seen what the discussion is in the next couple of weeks on how they turn things around into a bill, and I think it will be very interesting. I mean, if they go this route, I hope that the law is a bit more clearer on what they are trying to achieve. So yeah. All right, another thing I have here, which is an interesting thing, and it affects the both the residential market, and also in a way to think about the growth of the sector. It's a sensitive topic, so keep in mind on how we discuss this. It is in the Mais Habitação legislation, and it is under the section of protecting old leases. So there are leases that are out there that are pre 1990. Am I mistaken? 1990 or 1980, something like that. I have it out here. Let's see. I think 1990. So protect tenants with pre 1990 contracts that did not transition to the NRAU and ensure fair compensation for the landlord. So the idea is clear. There are, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, just in Lisbon, around close to 6 or 7 thousand residential units with this lease in place, where the rents are as low as 10 euros per month. And this is, of course, good for the tenant, but then when you look at the building, it is very bad because it's not maintained properly. Nothing works in the building. It's falling to the ground. Safety wise, I'm an engineer, so I've looked at some buildings for rehabilitation. Safety wise, this is huge risk to the clients, and but there is no way out. There's absolutely no way out in some of these cases. And you guys are the experts. What are your thoughts on the proposal? I think so. The proposal was that landlords are, so if they maintain this, if the landlords maintain this, it says landlords are guaranteed full exemption on property income earned. So whatever the income there is, which is very low, there is no taxation, plus on no taxation on the annual property taxes whatsoever. So basically, essentially, the government is saying, well, whatever you can make from these buildings is yours. So there is no taxation whatsoever. I didn't see anything in here that said about capital gains, which I think should have been there. I think because if that is added to the mix, then at least at that point there will be an interest from developers like ourselves to see what kind of projects they can invest in and hold for 5-10 years and exit without paying capital gains. But that is missing, and that's a huge part of making these investments. So Carlos, we'll start again with you. What are your thoughts on these leases, and how does it affect the economy and the tenants? So sensitive topic, but we must discuss.
Sure. Yes, it's a sensitive topic, and there is no magical formula to solve the habitation problem in any country, I think.
Yeah.
Because on the other hand, we have people living there, and we have to know people are the most important thing. Okay, business is business. It's good to have success, to have a good business, but we have people that are living there for 30, 40 years, 60 years, and they have made the lease with the landlord at that time. And that was the agreement. So I think the measure for these measures that you are talking about is for somehow try to compensate the landlords in not losing or not earning so much money in trying to make them leave the houses, okay? Because they know they can rent it out for 100 times the value they are getting now. Of course, in order to do that, they have to make adjustments and improvements on the properties. And yes, there is still a lot of properties in Lisbon, and not just only in Lisbon, that nothing has been done for the past 30, 40 years. And people have to live there because it's their homes. And it's their homes we are talking about. So regarding this possible measure they want to take, I understand it. Makes some sense in trying for the landlords to, okay, let's not evict people, put them on the streets, because on the other hand, the government hasn't made also, the government, this and the others before, their homework, my point of view, Portugal in the last 20 years should have made policies for investors that are looking for build-to-rent projects. That would have a lot of impact, because you have a lot of big investors that want those kind of products. And Lisbon, Portugal, has everything they are looking for. We have good weather, good food. They know they can rent it out, So what does this mean? It's give them good possibilities, and of course, give them some tax benefits. Hey, come and invest in Portugal, build a new building, put it on the market for rent, and we get houses for the people. That can also level the prices of the renting market, not just trying to, okay, we have the old town with the old people. Come on, let's not just wait them to die, because it's life. Everybody must die, and make an investment. I think we should have made some measures 20 years ago, but it's never late, okay? I understand this policy from the government, but it's a very sensitive point, as you said, because we are talking about people, and that's the most important thing is life. It's people, and they have to live here also, okay? So this Lisbon cannot turn into it is a multicultural city, but it has to have people from Lisbon also.
Yeah, true.
Okay, and we have to protect that also. On the other hand, we have to make some new measures, and I think doing big projects, not just be one building with 10 apartments, that won't solve the problem.
Yes.
And we have on the surroundings of Lisbon good areas and with land plot enough to give people and to start with those projects. 20 minutes from Lisbon, they can go to work, they can rent a flat there, and they can live
Yes.
with everything around them. So I
Yeah.
think the focus should be on that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree. This very point that it should not be a case of movement of permanent people that have been living here in Lisbon for a very, very long time. I think that permanence should maintain. Otherwise, Lisbon loses its identity, and it's just another place. There is people from everywhere, and that's not what we want. We want to ensure that it's the people that resonate the identity and are welcoming for other cultures at the same time. So that's the pluralism that we believe should always be maintained, and it is a good measure from the government, I believe, to try to alleviate the taxation as much as they possibly can. So it's a good thing. And what I further believe, I think, in addition to that, the government should also provide some grants for the rehabilitation of these buildings, or at least the maintenance of these buildings, so that safety does not become an issue in the absence of low rents. So I think that is an area probably that could be looked upon favorably, maybe in the discussions to come. Davi, what are your thoughts on this subject? Low rents, pre 1990 rents. What do you feel about this subject?
Okay, as I said, it's a really sensitive topic, as people there, they usually don't know what to do if they leave Lisbon and they can't work anymore, right? So that's really complicated. I believe that the government can do a measure to help those people because they have enough to do, like enough money to help those workers, the young workers, So if they can help the young workers that wants to rent in Lisbon, why not help the older people that are paying 40, 30, 10 euros monthly to the landlord? And they need to think, of course, the people that's living there, it's not their fault that the rent is skyrocketed, and it's not their fault that they cannot work, it's their age. And as they aged, they cannot work anymore, but the landlord is the one that losing it all, right?
Yeah.
Because if you have a property in Lisbon, you know that you can have at least 200,000 easily.
2000.
Depending,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
depending on the location, of course, but
Of course.
he's an investor and he wants money. So the way that to help the investor is one, to the government buy the property cheaper, and that way give to the person that's living there, and after that rent it out as a government property, as they are planning to do already. They are planning to do that, but they are trying to take it out from the investor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
But
believe that
that's a very I have to jump in, sorry, but I have to ask on this one. But do you believe this is another proposal, state renting private property? um, it's I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. I think it's too much interference in private property, and it could really backfire. I mean, government, believe it or not, still being government, has limited resources on how much they can attend, and taking over this big chunk on managing personal property and being property managers. Oh, I don't know. And then there is a matter of those properties having loans from the banks. If the government is not able to collect the rents on time and not being able to remit on time, then there is a lack of payments going to the bank. I think it's a very vicious circle, to be honest with you. So I don't know if I fully agree unless I see some real measures in place to be able to run private property here.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yes, like it's not. I just said like is if the property has a bank loan
Yeah,
and they will rent it out to someone else. If the person doesn't pay, who is paying the loan, right?
yeah,
So it's really complex. What we're trying to do
very
is
complex,
not easy, and they need to
very
manage the
complex,
property
very
as well.
complex.
And
Yeah. Guys, so let's circle back to our favorite topic. We have a TikTok going on here until March 16th for Golden Visa. So let's ask one question to both of you. And I already don't know the answer. What's your favorite 280K project?
okay.
So
Of course,
let's
Palacio.
spin that let's spin that question a little bit differently.
Yeah.
What are you advising to your clients when selecting golden visa projects and the timeline and everything? What are your individual advices to your clients? So we'll start with David this time. What is your advice? What are you suggesting? How is that onboarding going on?
Okay, so first thing first, always read the contract before to advise anything, right? And it's interesting to know if the contract has a buyback clause
Hmm.
and not just a buyback, because the buybacks, anyone say that they will do it, but something
Very
that
important.
can guarantee
Absolutely.
that they will be paid, because
Yeah.
anyone can write a contract, and that's the worst part, right?
Yeah.
So if you see the locals and the branded investors here, they are doing like as your company. The difference is because they are backed up by other
Exactly.
company that's like has a name on it.
Liquidity, name, brand, development, huge factors to consider. Absolutely.
Is
Yeah.
is and you need to know, like, even before you sign it, you need to do your DRI. Like, you need to research about the company and research about the other company that's branded, if it's branded or not.
For sure.
And I do advise they as well to, at this moment, as we don't have that much time for it, that even if they end really end the golden visas, we're gonna have like 70 to 80 days to do something about it. So still have enough time to do something.
Yeah.
I tell they that you are fine if you want to submit the application to the golden visas, but you need to proceed faster with the NIF and the bank account, right?
Yeah.
Because take
And we all
longer.
know, we all know that is a race no one can win.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Yeah.
It is. It is. It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy. Carlos, what advice are you giving to clients when considering their golden visa projects now?
Well, Ray, I'll talk from my own experience. I've been advising for the past years some Golden Visa clients, and it's a learning process. And I understand
Mhm.
that the very main factors that they are more careful or cautious in starting the process is when they want to see how they want to see the property, and we have a lot of developments for Golden Visa. Everyone can search for them, but the main concern is, okay, they go there and they still everything haven't been done. No jobs, no work has been done on the property. You know, it's just like an old building laying there, and
Mhm.
it's going to open in 3 or 4 years. It will be a big hotel. Okay, if you have a big brand behind it, it's very good. You have the contracts, you have lawyers to read the contracts, and of course contracts needs to be respected, and if not, that's why you have the courts, of course. And you have to be sure of what you are signing and read the contract. It's very important, and I agree with David, to understand who is the developer, his background, his track record, if he's in Portugal just coming for 2 or 3 months ago, or is a
Yeah.
developer that has made projects and he can show the projects he has made in Portugal. That's also important to give confidence to the Golden Visa clients
Absolutely.
that want this program. On the other hand, it's very important, and that's something I see when we see, I will talk about two projects from Lakhani Group, which I know pretty well. When you see that they're already 70-80% constructed, that gives more confidence. Okay, I'm just a few months away to have this ready. It's different when you are looking into a project, and I'm being totally honest. I'm putting myself on the shoes of the client. That's what they tell me,
You have to.
because I have other projects, and of course, depends on the client is searching. Okay, but the difference is when you have a project on a long period. Oh, we are starting construction next year, and it will be ready in 2 years. And I see from my clients that they are more cautious about those projects than others, like Alcácer and Bucelas, that okay, this is standing up, this is almost ready. This gives him more confidence, because in a few months this is ready. I can move in, or I can start using it. I can start getting my upfront yield paid. Well, all those things matter, of course. And of course, in picking up where the view was talking about, well, we know we have a reduced timeline now to submit for the Golden Visa program, but it's still possible to get a Golden Visa. So we have it at least until the 15, 16, and after he has to go to the president to make it as a law. We'll have, I don't know, at least until the end of March, until this, if it is finally approved on the 16th, we'll have until the end of March to still submit Golden Visa. And it's, yes, if you have an IFC already in Portugal, or if not, do it fast, a bank account. And one of the things of this project is from Alcácer, we are talking now about the 280K product, and that's pretty good, that if they cannot submit it on time, they have zero risk, because they have a refund, 100% refund. So yes, this is probably your last opportunity to have the Portuguese Golden Visa, to have it with a brand worldwide known as Wyndham, and a developer as the Lakhani Group, that has made several projects in Portugal already. It is true. They just have to go there and see it. I'm not
That's
just
it.
go and see what you have made in Portugal, and that's it. You have work to show. So yeah, this is probably the final opportunity. And as I said to the clients that had this caution, hey, you have zero risk at this point. If you don't get to submit your Golden Visa, you get your money back. And well, that's it. Basically, that's the main
Simple
thing.
as that.
Simple
I
as
appreciate, really appreciate Carlos and Davi both for the kind words, and I'll give you your $20 after.
30. It was
Thank
30.
But in all sincerity, it is quite the pat on the back when it comes from partners like yourself to see that that we are doing good work, and balancing it both between the property and immigration at the same time. So it's not just one or the other, right? So and yeah, we're keeping ahead of this by going out there on these platforms and letting people know that being communicating with them on a daily basis, on what the status is of the project, what the status is of their immigration, what is the ground level news in the market. So it's not easy, by any means, but I must put this vote of thanks that you have to my entire team. We have a very, very strong team, a very dedicated team, that believes in the projects and wants to deliver this, and be proud of working in the company, to show what they can actually do for the larger part of the world. Because every person that's working with us, they know that they're building a huge community of international people out here, so they are building to these standards, and really, really proud of what we have. So in a very quick glimpse, actually, I'd like to take just 1 second to do a quick summary of what we have, which is what we call as Palacio de Sal. And this is a project that is located about 55 minutes south of Lisbon, and it is eligible for the 280K Golden Visa. We are doing a 30K upfront yield with all the taxes paid by us. So IMT, IMI, VAT is completely paid by the group. And in addition to that, we are offering a 7 days per year free stay for the family. And when they come, if they want to elongate their stay, they also have a tariff discount as being a member of the group investment here. And the best part, like Carlos mentioned, if you are right on the fence, there is no risk to you. I mean, of course, there is currency risk, and we cannot, do anything about that. But from a perspective of investment risk, it's absolutely abysmal. So I mean, we are here. We work with several internal and external lawyers that are here to assist you on the matter of making applications to Golden Visa. What I highly recommend is, if you are on the fence, reach out to us. Let us have that conversation face to face. See why our project is actually a very strong fit for you. Talk to experts like Carlos and Davi to learn about the project and to try to find out even what is out there as a competition to our project. And I think that's a smart investor. That is what they do, is to compare what is the other offerings in the market and make that wise decision. So this is what we ask you to do, but do it fast, of course, because time is basically running out. You are pretty much very up against the time. But the same token, we also don't know if the timing is running out. We don't know if the investment is going to be stopped completely. So but at the same token, we do have a nice process in place where we can actually give you some comfort on the next step and assist you in the process along. So the simple matter is that you must come, you must talk, you must have this conversation. Well, you must take action. Without action, it's all talk, and we all know talk is cheap. So take that action. I think the webinar says right in the heading, act fast, stay informed. So this is on you as investors, as someone who wants to look at a plan B for their family, or look at a plan A, really as well, to kind of see if this is an opportunity that you don't want to miss out. So stay connected, stay in contact with us, and talk to us. Send us a message, send an email, WhatsApp. We will send this out with on YouTube, on LinkedIn, with the contacts of Carlos and Davi as well. So reach out to them, and they are the experts in the market. So and any questions you have, we are always here to give you the best service. Okay. Any last words, gentlemen?
Yeah, just that. I think you said it all. Act fast. Quick note. I have means. This looks like, but to get you an if pretty quick. Okay.
Yes.
So because it's all about some people in relations. So because I know that's an issue, because sometimes it takes 1 or 2 weeks to get the NIF. So don't lose if you have decided, don't lose don't waste more time. It's still possible, and just don't waste time. It's possible you can still get a European citizenship, and of course come to Portugal, because this is a wonderful country.
Awesome. Davi, last words from you, my friend.
But yeah, thank you very much for this webinar, and as you said already, act fast. You don't have that much time to be thinking around, I would say do what you can do, do the niche, do the bank. And if you feel that that's what you want, just do it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, gentlemen. We'll end with a nice short video. Thank you. Act fast, stay informed. Perfect. Thank you so much again, and look forward to hosting you guys again on a future webinar.